So we got to get them out the way, stop participating in the shit that they're telling us, stop listening to the music that they're selling us, because that's their viruses. Stop watching the movies that they're giving us, because that's their viruses. Stop with everything. They cannot, how could they tell us how to love each other and they don't even love each other like that? Real talk. They're not the epitome of love.
True.
Of love. They don't teach us sensuality. They're not the teachers of Kama Sutra. They don't teach about the affairs of the heart. They don't deal with your heart being as light as a feather. They're lying if they told you that. They was hitting over the head. They had their mamas under their foot, and they had to have women's suffrage. You know what I'm saying? That was Little Richard syndrome. And you know what I'm talking about, right? Okay. So, no.
Yeah. Yeah, we was just talking about that, you know what I'm saying, in reference to the music in particular, you know what I'm saying, like what we hearing now, like even if we just take the aspect of R&B, you know what I'm saying, we don't have like a traditional love songs and, you know, shit you can actually make love to, you know what I'm saying, and
you gotta go back
and create that whole energy or whatever, you know what I'm saying. Now it's like if you got anything that's considered a love song today, it's just straight about, you know, fucking just dead up, you know what I'm saying? And shit is crazy how it's reflecting our mentality and like you saying, how we are right now. The music is a direct reflection of that.
Yeah, the #1 song is Savage. You know, I feel that, you know,
that's sad.
You're definitely becoming more savage-like. We're becoming like the people who we disdain the most. And it's easier for us to be slaughtered and cold because, you know, they can't commit certain atrocities in the face of the Father.
Mm-hmm.
Unless the people of a certain, unless you have, because like I said, hip hop is globally accepted. They're showing up. They're streaming it because it is a low frequency.
Yeah.
This vibrate to. They were listening to heavy metal. They dropped death metal and heavy metal and grunt metal to listen to Post Malone and 21 Savage and the rest of you niggas because you're feeding that quote unquote. You're feeding their root chakra. You're feeding you're feeding that lust demons. You're feeding justification that their grandparents told you why they killed you, why they hung your ancestors, why they have to continuously have you in a cage.
But they don't see it that way. I mean, it's sad because they don't even see it that way. Like, you know, like how what you're saying right now. What you're saying right now, like hearing you say that, like it's clear as day to a person like me or us. You know what I'm saying? Like, being, I guess, what you would call conscious or awake. You know what I mean? But for the masses, it's almost like you really just looking at them like, yo, they really, like you said, Ratchet is the #1 song in America right now. So that basically almost when I see stuff like that, that stuff shows me mentality, shows me where we're at mentally. What's able to trend, that shows me what people are interested in. You know, that's how they look at things. That's how they're reading the numbers and stuff like that. They're looking at what's trending and what to feed off of and what can how we easily program with certain things. You know what I mean?
Oh, facts.
So it's almost like right now we almost done. Like we talk about a lot of times we think we're making a lot of decisions we make, but we're influenced by the music. We have colors around us that make us feel a certain way and things like that make us hungry. We don't realize the level of trickery and that they're using on us. You know what I mean? It's almost like you're really in the matrix and you're really programmed right now. You don't know why you got hungry just seeing that McDonald's sign.
Yeah.
You don't know why. So it's like a lot of times you think you're making a decision, but you're not even making that decision yourself.
So the best way to counter that is you have to engage in your own form of propaganda. You almost have to hypnotize yourself with your own marketing strategies. Your food truck, when it's flying by, you gotta hypnotize somebody that's hypnotized by the White Castle burger. You know what I mean? So this is still a battle for hearts and minds by like Malcolm in the Window. You know, they're not playing fair. I tell people like this. If you playing by human rules on the internet. That's why you're losing.
Mm-hmm.
You playing log rules in a digital space. You're playing Zion rules in the Matrix. You're playing by human rules. Niggas is going politically correct on the internet, where you could be anybody, turn into anything. You know, it doesn't make sense. That's not how these people are running the world. They're running the world through fantasy. They're running the world through the imagination. They're running the world through the subconscious. Through the Academy of Arts and Sciences. They've mastered the arts and they mastered the sciences. Keep in mind, they won't let an artist be a scientist. They told Kanye West, you got to stick right here, nigga. Stay in one box, nigga. Stay in one lane. You cannot be a Renaissance man around these small hats. They will do everything within their perceivable power to do what? To
get them out of there.
Huh?
Get them out of there.
To get them out of there.
Yeah, I just picked up on what you said. I just picked up on what you said about small hats. I just caught that out of all this time, so I just realized, bro, what you were saying just now. Oh, that's crazy.
Wow.
Look at this. Hold on.
Yeah.
Enough of this shit. That's the name of it. Enough of this shit. The host, the girl from hosting the sports, right? We like her for her sports annotation. Jamel Hill.
Right.
She's woke. Van Lathan, the guy who calls himself Red Pill, right? With no very disrespectful. King, my guy Talcum X. He you know, Tamika Mallory, Kendrick Sampson, Steven Jackson, Twin, RZA Islam, my guy, T.I., right? So this is boutique consciousness now, right? This is the Hollywoodification or the wokeification of our struggle, of our quote unquote, of our pain. You know, this is the quote unquote commercialization of consciousness, which is not a bad thing, you know, but it ain't a good thing either.
That
it's not a good thing. Oh, sorry, I'm not back.
That leaves room for the code switchers, though. If you then have to make your way in both.
Well, it's a good thing and a bad thing. Like the commercialization of hip hop is a good thing and it's a bad thing because you can make more money, but you fucking up the foundation of it. Now with this commercialized wokeness, or wokeness is like commercialized consciousness. So it's the same thing when you compare it to how they did hip hop.
You gotta be the spook then. If you're getting in there to do that, your whole agenda has to be your people.
No, I'm just talking about weighing the goodness and the badness of it. You know what I'm saying?
It's bad, period. Because
I definitely get what Queen's saying about the badness. Because but I definitely think it's a lot of good that can come out of it. But with the commercial, like just like with rap, back in the early 80s and 90s, early 80s, we had conscious rap. And then the commercialization came to that, and that kind of spoke for our culture, right? So same thing with the consciousness on the negative side, with the commercialization of consciousness. Now these people have platforms, and they don't speak not necessarily for us. You see what I'm saying? Like they're new to it, but their word or what they say publicly can become kind of word, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where the bad thing can come at. You feel what I'm saying? So I get both sides is all I'm saying. I definitely get it could be a good thing because we need more people in that space, you know what I'm saying, that can do more damage, but I definitely get that it can hurt us.
Yeah, it's like real quick, Red, it's like these fake woke people that we got out here now. It's like
it's fake though.
It's like cats that claim hip hop, but they don't fuck with the other elements besides rapping.
They do fake.
You know what I'm saying?
Love for nothing else.
Right.
But money that comes from rap.
Right.
Even they don't love the art because they don't even put anything towards the art anymore. So what gets lost in the wash? Anything that gets commercialized, it gets lost in the wash. Right? So the it's like when you know the raw the raw aspect of it, it's gonna get washed. Like if you wash your black jeans too many times, the shit gonna be gray after a while. So with the wokeification or the commercialization, the edge that the consciousness has gets lost in the wash. It's no longer edgy. There's a line drawn. If you decide that you want to be edgy, you stay there. These people don't curse. These niggas got headshots.
Yeah.
Photoshop pictures. You know what I mean? Some of them got letters behind their names.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna choose them, and they're gonna dominate the space, right? And then we're going to slowly write you guys out of the picture. So when the story is told, it started with the woke dudes.
Right.
Never mention, you don't go, because you're not being captured on film. You're not being documented. You know what I'm saying? So you really don't exist. You know, and these people exist. So case in point, like with Nick Cannon's Sabi documentary, right? So 20 or 30 years from now, if you don't know the real story, you would think Michael Eric Tyson or whatever, what was his name? Michael Eric
Tyson
was rolling with Sabi, right? Because he's a trailer, right? Then if you see Tariq Nasheed, you would be like, oh, he was Sabi's friend. They was rocking each other in LA. He probably was, you know. Then if you see all of these people from the thing, you don't know. You don't have context. You don't know. But based off of the fact that it's being commercialized, now it's adding new narratives that never existed.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
So 30 years from now, that could be manipulated in the wrong ways. It could be tweaked. It could be twisted. People could put themselves in stories that they really never had nowhere to, not one iota of. It inserted through Hollywood without permission of anybody, because the man is not here to say, who the hell, get the man, if you because Sabi, if people don't know, Sabi was very strategic. He knew who everybody was to a degree, you know. And then to a degree, he didn't know who none of these niggas were. You know, he still called Blue, Philip and Paul. I don't know if you ever read the chapter in Mr. G's book.
Yeah.
It's called Philip.
He was looking
for. So yeah, that back into how I was being sabotaged. You know, there were people around him who were fake taking pictures with him, hummer stunting, and while he was searching the planet for me, they were like, "Who? Philip? Who?" When they knew that was Red Pill.
Wow.
Philip and Paul. He's like, "Yo, I'm looking for Philip." His brother's name is Paul. Everybody knows that's. He don't know. He knew when he's on our radio show, we like Red Pill and Blue Pill, but he probably think the damn show name is Red Pill, Blue Pill. I don't know.
Right.
But he's asking the world, he's asking everybody that he comes across, did you see him? Please tell him I'm looking for him. I have to tell him something. And, you know, to this day, that shit haunts me. And it's indicative of what this community is. They won't say your name. They didn't say Sabi's name. Nick Cannon had to say his name. That's how sorry this community is, right? That's how sorry the rap game is. That's how sorry Black Hollywood is. That's how sorry these Black organizations is. It took Nipsey fucking hustle to elevate that man's name into the narrative of the modern day hip hop community. Because remember, Michael Jackson was his client, right? Magic Johnson and all of these people were being treated by him. He wasn't a secret in Hollywood. They knew his name, but with, like you see in this community, they will not say your name. That's how they avoid, that's how they deny you. They say they denied Christ thrice. They will not say your name.
It's crazy because, you know, they say, it's crazy you mentioned Magic Johnson, because it's almost like you can't really find, like, and I've been new about that, you know, for a while now, but as far as the Sevy thing, following him for a while, but it's almost like when you tell people that Magic, like, was treated by him, like, nah, Magic's on that, he on that medicine, you know what I'm saying? He mentioned no Sevy.
He on that bit turvy.
It goes to show you what the masses don't know. The masses are truly the asses, because it's a whole bunch of shit that's going on, and the masses are they're oblivious to it until it comes on a Breakfast Club. So that just shows you, and that's like a slop. You know what I mean? Like if there was a slop, that's the Breakfast Club, and I've given them their props for, you know, having slops and still having a good feast. But months later, after seeing certain things unfold, I take back everything that I said, because I see the agenda. It's a facetious one, and it's one where, you know, the individuals have propelled themselves into the community off the backs of the people who they used when they came.
And then switched it up.
Yep.
On. Yeah.
So those people who've come on their shows have not been elevated. They have not been called. Like when shit is going on, Charlemagne does not call them. He hops up and runs in front of the mic.
Yeah.
He's not calling. He's not saying, I'm gonna bring my panel of elders, or I'm not gonna bring the panel of, you know, no. So what they're doing is they're doing what everybody's been doing. They're out here cloning because they understand the social value that being a quote unquote enlightened teacher has in not just in Black community, everywhere. It's the title that you can hold. There's no higher title. There's no higher title right now. That's what I'm saying. Valuation. When they bring the valuation back, we will show the world. There is no higher position in Black America. Not Black America, because I went into the UK and every single person that I ran into, not everybody, maybe 80%. We went into the first spot I went to, we checked into some posh hotel. I'm like, take me to Brixton. The minute we go to Brixton, somebody pulls up on a bikes and like, yo, red and blue pill. And they didn't know that we was gonna be there. So it's just showing you the ratio of how many people are paying attention and are quote unquote active and activated.
Gotcha.
I use my face as a face card to see. I'm able to gauge who's awake. I'm able to gauge how many people are enlightened. I'm able to gauge where they're enlightened at, because I go to the trenches, you know, I go to posh areas, I'm in airports, I'm all over the place, and everywhere that I go, people are like, yo, like, oh shit, it's fucking real. So with that being said, in my mind, I'm like, I don't need. We could be as self-sufficient. We could be as tactical. We could be as supportive as we want to be. But the question is, you know, are we willing to stay, stay on what we stand? Because we are notorious for not holding the charge. Right?
It's gonna take a whole reprogramming for us to stay on it. When
This
we
is
up on it, it's straight emotional. And that's why we fall off.
That's right. So the reprogramming has to be the restoring of a reward system. If you go hard for the year, you got a guaranteed $1 million waiting for you. A crowd-funded bag that's available for everybody that's putting in super duper work. You got to get your points up. You know what I'm talking about? It's almost like community service. You got to work. And then if we have a problem in our community that needs handling, we got $1 million reward, dead or alive. You know what I'm saying? To go out and bring that back like a bounty hunter, because we're gonna hold our own trials. We're gonna hold our own people's court the same way that they did, and they never apologized for that, and they never made an excuse as to why they did have their own courts. You know what their people's court was? It's a book called Without Sanctuary, and it's 100 goddamn plus lynching pictures of people hanging from trees smoldering. When it was thousands of spectators like with popcorn. That was the first picnic, was a pick a nigga, and the first barbecue was the order de fe, where they was burning us at the stakes.
Right.
So we don't have the testicular fortitude as a people anymore to even talk like we want to go to war against these bloodthirsty White Walkers. That's not the wave. The wave is that they fear the Black Messiahs. Their fear is going to, quote unquote, provoke them to react in a way that's either going to be kamikaze in their way, suicidal, or homicidal. What we have to do, because they're going to attack you anyway, they're going to provoke an attack anyway. The only thing that we have to do at this point is to come together. Our power is in our collective. Our power is when they see us, like they said on Netflix, when they see us. You understand? when they see us, when they see a sea of us. You understand? Millions of us, because that's how they were able to get at us, because they broke us up and broke us down. They divided, conquered us. In all time, if you study any kind of war science, any kind of history with them, you know, they put the Indian tribes against each other. They even put the Moors against each other. It was infighting. And they know the niggas is killing each other right now. They manage the beefs. The record labels manage the beefs.
Yeah.
Adam 22, Vlad, and a few other people manage the beefs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They are the Dana Whites of the community. They're managing drills, I promise you.
Mm-hmm. Word up. Let me go back to what you was, a little something you were saying earlier, and in reference to our people though, like, do you think with us that we are looking more for why we don't really stand up to these white fragilises, as you like to coin them? Do you think it's more or less that we still just looking for too much acceptance from them, or because we're actually afraid?
There goes your answer right there. This is the revolt, right?
Get the shit out of me.
There goes your answer right there. That's the Revolt Summit. So people don't think I'm lying. That's Amy Schumer. She's a comedian.
Yeah.
And she's on a panel of black people about black things. She's not a politician. You understand? She's not a business owner, right? She's not an intellect. She's a white comedian. So these niggas are jokes. They're woke jokes, and they're dangerous to anything and any progression that we've made. You know, I mean, granted that there's been hundreds of years of progression knocked off because of the knockoffs that came into this community that needed to get knocked off. We still got a little bit to hold on. For iota, and here comes the woke jokes. Totally discrediting, because impressionable minds, they don't know the difference.
Right.
They don't know they think we one big happy family and this is a kumbaya. I'm saying that what it's going to take right now doesn't involve any Europeans. They have not proved allies at all, right? Because when they put you on their gang, they throw a rifle on you. They throw a dog tag on you, and they come back and say, "Go out, boy. You know what to do. Go drill for Uncle Sam."
Right.
So I don't want to talk about niggas' white friends. I taught niggas more about white people than their fucking white friends, bro. In like 2 shows, I taught more in 2 of my shows than all of these niggas' bird-ass white friends ever taught them during all of your bromancing, all of your fucking bong sessions, and all of your ghetto gagging. You niggas don't know nothing. So if your white friend is not giving you the keys to the fucking to the attic so you could go and read up on some shit, or he's taking you to the dungeon to show you the fucking tunnels and whatnot, then you're just wasting my time.
That's never gonna happen.
I know.
They better stay on code with that.
So we need to establish a code. We need to establish a tax. I've been pushing the black tax.
Yeah.
The black vote. Whoever shut down Jay Morrison is an agent. Okay? He had a fucking good plan. A black vote is needed. All right? A black vote is needed. Let that man do what he needs to do. And a black tax is needed. There's too many people in our community that's spending money and doing things, even illicit things, and they're not paying any taxes. Nobody is benefiting from that. We're not getting collective money for all that. Whenever we leave our house, we should be able to pay our own people a tax. Whenever we go and buy something, we need to collect a tax. Whenever you walk away from the gambling spot after you tore the door down, there needs to be a tax paid for that. Whenever you slide down a fucking pole and get a few dollars, you need to pay a tax for that. We need taxes. So those taxes could be allocated to the quote unquote pet projects that we have. We got a lot of shit. We got a lot of building and rebuilding. We got a lot of projects that we need to do. We got towns that we need to build out. We got blocks we need to buy back. We got blocks we need to knock off. We need some destroying and building, and we need a budget for that. We need movies to be shot. This nigga Tyler Perry got us a movie studio that he bought from an old quote unquote Fort McPherson, an old army base.
Yeah.
They said bunch of army bases.
Mm.
Businessforsale.com, landwatch.com. I've been saying this for years. Everything that you need is right there. I just flew over Denver the other day. Denver's a big open fucking land of nothing.
Mm.
I'm just saying it was open land as far as the human eye can see. It was crazy. So I'm like, it's enough room. If the rappers were serious, they would even have a town.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to move into a town with no fucking rappers, but whatever happened to being a silent investor, whatever happened without no risk is no reward. How can could you be a millionaire and go and march? I can't even march with it as a thousandaire.
Right.
You march as a millionaire when you know that you could go on the dark web and buy somebody who could basically be a shooter for you. Right? They're doing it all the time.
Yeah.
Because every single rap song on the radio is talking about how a nigga put a bag on another nigga head. What is you saying? In every song, the bag get cheaper. Now I put some Yeezys up to get your head. So these niggas is on Xannies and Addies, right?
Yeah.
But that high, because they get real sober when it comes to popping off, in certain directions.
Yeah.
You niggas are not. So don't let no black people act crazy around you. Don't let no nigga act like, oh, I'm geeking. You're not geeking and you're not a demon, because you niggas get real sober when it comes time to really pop. So stop it.
Yep.
Nobody's buying that bullshit no more. You know what I'm saying? This whole shit is defunct. And I'm actually sitting back and enjoying the ride, yo.
Yeah.
It's funny to see because, either be disrupted or get disrupted. That's the disruption era that we're living in. And nobody's crying no crocodile, no fake ass tears over, niggas getting disrupted because they're not on their job. Black people are not on their job. One iota. Stop fronting. They're not on their job. They're super duper in the fucking basement. They're in a sunken place for real, for real.
Yeah. The majority, absolutely.
It's going to take us to hit rock bottom in order for us to bounce back up. And I think we're at that point because you try a barbershop and playing ignorant now. It's not going to happen. They're in the barbershop strategizing.
Let me ask you a question. With things that you got in place and things that you're developing, like Facts 2020, do we necessarily have to hit rock bottom, or we just let those who's not fucking with certain programs to hit rock bottom and the rest of us, you know what I'm saying?
We already hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
That's why we're here. No, nothing to worry about. That's why I want to be clear. Whatever got us conscious was our rock bottom, right? Our rock bottom was, I just was not handling my business in life, and I hit rock bottom. Woke me the fuck up, and I got right on my job and never turned back. So we here because we hit rock bottom. Dudes is like, yeah, I used to be in the streets. Then I got shot. You know what I'm saying? And I saw a Dr. Baby video. And now. Sorry. I'm saying that the masses who are considered to be the asses, who need to take that monkey shit off because they're embarrassing us. Them niggas, they buy the mall, the middle of the mall jury.
Right.
These niggas are gonna hit rock bottom. Okay. And everybody's gonna have their own wake up Rika moment. And me and you are not responsible for that. We're just responsible for being there when they call for the teacher. You know what I mean? People are like, damn, do you even sleep? I'm like, fam, these niggas are calling. You don't understand. Like, I hear it in my head. You know what I'm saying? I be trying to chill, but there's a lot of students out there. There's a like, think about if this was like a college. There's this oncoming wave of freshmen. Like, this shit right here with the brother is bringing a new wave of students. We're getting a tsunami of freshmen. People who would have scrolled past that video, like they've scrolled past the 100 videos that they've scrolled past, they decided to watch this one, and then they got him, right? And it red pilled them. This is a red pill moment. The George Floyd is a red pill moment. You will get red pill watching that. Meaning, you will exit that video with a different kind of perception of both the officers, because there was something about that video. Maybe it was the symbolic aspect of what we were seeing, and our subconscious was triggered because an Asian and a European was on an African's neck.
Yeah, talk about that.
Virus. That's exactly what we've been going through. That these fucking Asians, right? These Chinese that are in bed, anything negative going on, they got something to do with it, right? Because they in bed with the Americans. They in bed with big everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because they are a demonic quote unquote regime in the way that they treat their people. Don't fall for the okie doke. And they're multi-billionaires running around China that only sit with billionaires. And you know how they treat us on the cuff. And you see what they in Africa doing. So you know what they about. Right. So the man was standing in front of the European who was nestling his kneecap and through the vertebrae in order to fit, and then he applied the pressure, which snapped it.
So they actually broke the brother's neck on top of.
Hand in his pocket, he's putting more pressure. People, the hand in the pocket, put your hand in your pocket and press down on your leg.
Mm-hmm.
So not only did he have his leg on the neck, but the hand in the pocket was steering the knee. So once the knee felt that it was nestled between the bone, he put down, and then you break the bone. So he broke. I bet you the autopsy is going to show broken vertebrae.
Got to.
Broken trachea or something. You know what I mean? It was almost like the American X scene with dude's mouth on the cement.
Yeah.
So, a broad daylight, like it's a difference seeing people die in the daytime versus seeing them die at night. Dying underneath the sun versus dying underneath the moon. That's still spiritual. Not too many people die in front of their father. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Remember the sun, the light. That's the father. If you tap into it, it's not a nigga with a dick in the sky. Pardon my French. When I say father and man, I'm not talking about a male. I'm not talking about genitalia. I'm not talking about gender. I'm talking frequency and energy. The same way there's AC/DC. I'm talking about duality, that there has to be two. This planet is a dual planet. Everything on this planet is in twos. The genders are in twos. Everything is twos. So there's good and evil. There's up and down. There's above and below. You know what I mean? There's the 4 elements: fire, water, air, and earth. But that's been broken in twos. It's all dualities. All animals have a natural enemy. So do you. There's always going to be an antagonist and protagonist. That is the building blocks to any good story. So get off the fact. Why are we even wasting time trying to? I'm not explaining to nobody who their quote unquote biological enemy is. I can't waste my time doing that. It doesn't help any of us. I need to focus on those of us that hit rock bottom already, and we're on the way up, and our eyes are open, our third eye's open, and we're looking for the quote unquote solutions. That is, at the end of the day, I'm willing to be a humble servant to that cause. I feel that I've created enough students, I've created enough teachers out of my students to where they can handle the freshmen now. And we could get to the people who deserve a higher level of light, a higher quote unquote frequency of sound and light shining on them. Because we niggas is activated right at this point.
Right.
People is online. You about to start seeing some shit. Like, I don't even know what to say, but there's and on the summer solstice, that's going to be an eclipse or something. It's June 21st. Movie. Album drop. We're going to be in Atlanta. Movie. That's going to be crazy, And the summer energy, this is a Jason summer. Jason is a ritual that they start in July of sacrifices to build up to the quote unquote. Remember, they deal a lot with the Sirius, they deal with Saturn, they deal with the constellations, and they build up a lot of fear and anger and hate energy. And that energy could be feasted upon and redirected. It's called chaos magic. And that needs to be looked into, heavily by the family, because the internet is built off of chaos magic.
Mm-hmm.
The internet, the foundation of the internet is porn. Chaos magic. At the foundation of a lot of things that they do is all kind of chaos.
Yeah.
Debauchery. Like they build buildings with skeletons in the cornerstone.
Mm-hmm.
God, bodies and shit, little babies buried right in the cornerstone, like all the way up to their architecture. A lot of their stuff, the foundation is debauchery.
Mm-hmm.
The Vatican is founded. The cities are built on top of cities where there were massacres that took place. They built projects on top of graveyards, right? They got a whole bunch of black cities on top of graveyards. In New York City, where they lock everybody up on 100 Center Street, right? In the federal building, in that right area where the Supreme Court is, that's the African burial ground. Coincidentally,
Wow.
they just construction, but right where the federal building, the shit is like a humongous big black obelisk, and then the Supreme Court, and then the criminal court, where they sent up millions of our people throughout the years, all slave burial grounds. So they doing necromancy. They know what and those are unsettled spirits that were probably hacked to death and lynched and whatnot, not avenged. They didn't turn them into martyrs. We got to talk about the difference between victims and martyrs. If nobody puts in, like you see Ray Ray and them, the niggas slide for, Ray Ray becomes a martyr after you slide for him, right? Wow. They put his picture on the wall and they X out all of his ops and whatnot. They throw the candles up there and they pour the liquor. Boom, straight ritual, super ritual on a hood, on a higher level, or higher spiritual level. Because even though we hood, we're doing everything that we would be doing at a higher frequency. When we're at a higher frequency, the tools change, but the whole intent is the same. We're still doing, even in our unconscious state, we are still conscious. That is what consciousness is. Consciousness awareness, the awareness of the shit that you've been doing was awoke, nigga. The shit that you've been doing was it. You've been doing the right thing. You just were ignorant to what the fuck you were doing. So once you learn, the consciousness is teaching you what you were doing. Some of the greatest teachers for that is Bobby Hemmett and Dr. Phil Valentine and a few others. They speak to shit like that. So going back to what I was saying, that, yeah, I forgot what I was saying.
Come on, y'all.
We was talking about the teachers, Dr. Phil Valentine. Well, since you brought up Phil Valentine, Dr. Nalani actually just had a Zoom herself where she's doing the Juice Plus, and also they're doing the home growing where you can now grow your own. People that don't have the availability of land.
Yeah, like
start, right? Yeah,
gardens and stuff.
Partnered yet, but I'm looking into it.
Gardens. Vertical gardens.
Yeah, vertical garden. That's what it's called. Yeah. And the torpedo pot ones too. That's the one that self-waters.
Okay, yeah. I was in Houston and my dude, his backyard was like a park.
Wow.
Thought I was in a little park, yo. People got land out there. Like that's a good thing to see our people with land, because that's where we come from. Our ancestors had estates. They knew something. They was doing way more gangster than what we doing, apparently.
Way more.
I just found out some information. I'll tell you off this, but I just found out. I told Blue already, but I just found out some,
They bunched all the niggas in the cities. So you right now, if you go to the South right now, like even in Georgia, Alabama, my mom's and them is out there. You still got black people with land and and stuff like that. It's just that a lot of people didn't hold on to that idea. They sold off their property, a lot of different things. Everybody left to the major cities. You know what I'm saying? Everybody went to the metropolitan areas.
Got ran off this shit.
They got ran too. So the big mistake that we have to quickly solve, because the window was closing, is somehow, some way, we got to find it back home.
Right.
We got city. because of the 5G,
Okay.
because of the police aggression, the police terrorism,
Exactly.
because of the overpriced, quote unquote, cost of living that's raising up pre-existing conditions and compromising our mental health, our overall homeostasis and whatnot, because stress kills. And a lot of the elders or olders that were succumbing to corona and COVID and heart disease and all the things, they're going through, you know, the hardships of adjusting to cities that are quote unquote going through, you know, these they're having fiscal wars against the poor. You know? So we need to get Nana and Gogo and them back on some land, maybe not raising no hogs this time, maybe raising some superfoods and, you know, thermal waters, just incorporating the shit that we learned whilst in the city life, you know, copper, have like the copper teepees or the wigwams and whatnot that we could charge under with the sun, got the stones in it, you know, just incorporate a lot more organs, build bigger organs, land, y'all. My last name is Moreland, you know, and I want to dedicate, you know, the resurrection of my my last name. My middle name is Thomas, right? So on the island of St. Thomas and St. John's, we have estates, right? And those estates, some of the estates was taken from us by the Rockefellers, you know, illegally, of course. So one of my purposes in life, as I wind this thing down, is to, you know, restore the estates, because I feel that at you know, being on the ground and being into this thing and studying, I'm seeing the overall importance out of every you know, what's on the top of the pyramid, what's the capstone, and ultimately, you know, what I'm being shown is it has to be land, and not just estates,
Right.
sprawling estates.
Right.
So we have brothers and sisters who can still go back home and buy up the land, pay the taxes, salvage the acreage before it's lost, because I'm here to tell you there's nothing for us in the cities right now.
Exactly.
We could go into cities like Neo and then went into the Matrix and get what we need and get out.
Right.
But outside of the city is the move. Tactical in, fortify your fort, you know, being able to breathe clean air, being able to ground yourself, having a backyard, being able to grow some food and whatnot, some herbs, some healing herbs. That to me is that's moving forward. Even if you want to take it as far as to build an earth ship or monolithic dome, you know, hurricane and earthquake. It's a dome, so it's not four corners, so it's the energy and whatnot. It's gonna feel different in there. You know, monolithic domes, earth ships. Earth ships are built out of the earth, tires, bottles, and all of that. But if you Google it, the shit fly as hell. It look like a space pod.
So who's actually doing those already?
The Europeans have been doing those hard bodied.
Yeah.
And they've been, you know, there's some black people that's doing it though. You know.
Black folks doing that? I know they do bunkers now all of a sudden.
Arizona and other places. You know, we're just not exposed to a lot of stuff that our people are doing because, you know, we don't have black media, you know, not effective black media.
Right.
You don't have black media that's like hitting the road and they're like, yo, we're taking road, you know, like Anthony Bourdain was going to eat like pig snouts in fucking Spain and whatnot. You know, budget that has a budget that's sending black people around black America to find black people that are doing things other than selling drugs. The black media that we got is going around America talking about hood DVD, nigga.
Yeah.
The niggas had me scared to go to Baton Rouge because them niggas was hitting off the M16s.
Yeah.
I was good.
Yeah. It's crazy. We talking about things like like a lot of the black media we have that's on through the internet or whatnot. You know, they talking about Big Meech being released possibly within the next week.
That's good.
Yeah, that was big.
And it's like with cats like Big Meech, I mean, he's gonna come out. I mean, I think it's he's gonna be glorified, you know, first for doing the bid, and then second for, you know, whatever he went in for, you know what I'm saying? Because he's some type of street
He's
legend, right?
the capo.
Yeah. So it's like,
Dead ass. This is his paradigm. It
yeah.
started in 2005. This is his paradigm. Him and Jeezy stuff. This is his paradigm. Hold on, but I'm gonna show you something about Big Meech that people don't know. I'm gonna share this with you real quick.
And his brother's out, and he none of that. He's already talking to people about changing their lives. That's his older brother, isn't it? He's already in the streets talking about.
You would hope that's what it's gonna be.
He got video. Look at his
'Cause
page. He's
of,
in there.
We need to get like Big Meech and them back in the days, though. Not on the dope tip, but I'm see that. I
His
ain't gonna lie,
mindset is still
how he
there.
had his unit, how he had his team running. That's how dudes need to form up. He was getting money. His whole team was eating it. The squad, it was tight.
It was his demonstration that I saw in Miami that had me like, nah, I need to move like this.
Yeah.
I need to pull up in foreigns and whatnot and hop out. The whole team.
The whole team, yeah.
The team, mean.
Mm-hmm.
I was inspired. I ain't gonna lie. I was highly inspired.
Mm-hmm.
Some of my people was running with them and whatnot. And, you know, my brother interviewed Meech. Blue interviewed him. You know what I'm saying? A classic interview when nobody could talk to them. But we had the inside scoop, and he was dropping some things. I'm looking for something real quick. I want to show you that he's
looking for that. Don't you have an event coming up?
Oh yes, I do.
All right. Tell me what you got going on.
I have an event coming up on tomorrow, as a matter of fact. I'm actually studying for it right now. It's going to be on Zoom for my KTL students. And this is going to be entitled The Attention Economy 2020, right? Yeah. And I'm going to be talking about the new economy that exists, the attention economy, and the quote unquote the troll, you know, cancel culture, whole culture, attention. I got a lot of stuff that I'm gonna be talking about, and I'm also gonna be talking about some of the rituals that have taken place, you know, in the summertime where the police start killing our people, and I'm gonna show how this could be something that's orchestrated. You know, we have to really sit back and pay attention to what they've always been doing.
Wow.
Okay.
Now, how can people catch the lecture if they miss it tomorrow but want to still have access to it?
What is it, Zoom or Eventbrite?
It'll be on Eventbrite. The tickets are on Eventbrite. The hashtag is AE, which is short for Attention Economy. It's hashtag AE 2020. And then you get your ticket. It will be recorded. So if you do not have access to the live show, you'll still have access to the record. Yeah.
Okay. Will that be like on your platform, Netflix, or how will they be able to see it after the fact?
So after we do it, it will be going to Netflix. So you'll have to sign up to Netflix family. That is our own streaming platform. You'll be able to Netflix, and on there you'll be able to catch the replay.
Wow.
I had a drop from Big Meech. I was trying to stun on y'all, but I can't. He did a KTL radio drop because I did some editing work. He has a partner by the name of Cavario. Cavario works for Don and Diva magazine. He was a writer and whatnot. So he did a phone interview with Meech, and he wanted me to edit it and to like put pictures and stuff and visuals to it because I do editing and whatnot.
Yeah.
He was telling Meech about us. And then Meech, I guess they got access to the phones and all of that, or access to computers behind the wall. And he probably heard the show that we did, the radio show, and he gave us the drop.
Oh, see?
Red and blue pill, no the ledge radio.
You're gonna be ready then. Okay.
We're trying to get on that level. We want some exclusives. Y'all gonna be our exclusive. We need the red pill exclusive drops. We need all of that.
Everybody gotta level up then. It's gotta be the right energy, right frequency. But facts2020.org, are people still signing up for that and the agendas that you're talking about as far as like, you know, the relocation and the self-sufficiency and all of that? That's on facts2020.org.
Yeah, facts2020.org. We're signing people up for, you know, we're taking people, their email and whatnot. We're categorizing the family into the different categories that they're, you know, that they fit in and whatnot based off of their powers or based off of their skill sets, things of that. Wait, found it.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Got engaged.
This was big when it happened.
Good.
It's coming.
Hold on. So that's our Bandcamp page. We got some of our older music and stuff.
Okay.
Big shout out to the red pill and blue pill. Health, wealth, and knowledge of self. This is Big Me, Know the Ledge Radio. Big shout out to the red pill and blue pill.
I'm saying? So when I had got that, I was in Atlanta. This was around 2012, 2011. So I'm when the big dog niggas like, yeah, you know, I done talked to your boss. You know what I mean? Your boss is listening, so you need to listen.
I got you.
I've been advocating, you know, with the streets for a while now. For the you know, I call it the Bumpy Malcolm formula.
Yeah.
And I showed the formula in the Godfather Harlem. The Bumpy Malcolm formula is the fact that together we're stronger. You know, we need each other.
Yeah.
We need the strength of the streets. We need the fearlessness of the warriors. We need the, you know, the unapologetic attitude of the streets.
Yes.
Make intellect. They asking, Red Pill, teach me this. Red Pill, I want to know this. I want to know that. I was in Texas, you know, had brothers with their pads out, giving them keywords to go and Google.
Excellent.
I was in the third ward. I was in the trenches. But you'd be surprised, like I said, everybody's tuned in.
Good.
Everybody's tuned in. You know what I'm saying? I just walked up to a food truck today, and they was like, yo, you gonna live long. We was just talking about you, man. Or how did that? Yo, you just popped up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, them days and times, man. We in them days and times, like, you could think of some shit that's gonna pop up. You know, we are getting closer to a new day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Day. So
yeah.
Okay.
You know, just doing the work, man, and the work is rewarding. It's a lot of people don't know. They be thinking this is overnight. Like, they have no idea the amount of sacrifice and you know, the amount of pain and suffering, because this is I tell people this, you are witnessing community service whether you realize it or not.
Right.
You are witnessing a ill community service sentence that me and my brother are willfully carrying out, you know, just in the public. Like, but this is community service. We are paying our dues. We are giving back because we have taken so much, you know. Streets, you know, we my father and my mom's, they had us set up for greatness 20 years before we figured out we was great.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
We you know, like,
Shout out, I'm a pill right quick though. I'm sorry. I'm a pill.
my mama and Sabi, they had their plans.
Mm-hmm.
A biological father, who's an English professor, he had his plans, right? So they knew that we wasn't gonna slip through the cracks because we was gonna get somebody was gonna catch us, one of them.
Yeah.
And me and this bro, my brother Blue, we managed to slip through the cracks and go right to the trenches. You know what I mean? Slip into the underworld. You know, and we was with AA too. Me and AA was in talented. We was in gifted school together. Not charter school, not high school, gifted school, right? Called Satellite West. We was in Satellite West together for gifted students. I had to take a ill test to get in that thing. You know what I'm saying? And we were like, you know, we were gifted gifted students. And, you know, he was heavily into it. His mother was a devout Muslim, a former first generation MGT. But the allure of the fucking streets be like, I can't explain it. We came up during the Biggie era. We came up during the tunnel era. You know, I remember barbershop and hearing Flavor in the Air for the first time, right on Myrtle Ave. Right there. Like, he was a hometown hero. I was living in Clinton Hills and Big was popping. Big was from Fulton. So it was, you know what I mean? Like, it was a tsunami that caught us. And we pledged allegiance to the culture. What is you talking about?
Yo, the
like,
slide in the 80s was crazy. The 80s and the early 90s. Yo, I used to live on Vernon between Marcy and Nostrand. Yo, it was crazy over there, yo.
Crazy is not the word. People don't understand, like, this was something different. That's why these artists, remember Big Daddy Kane is from the style.
Yeah.
So Big Daddy Kane, Little Daddy Shane, and all of that. He's Jay-Z's the iteration of the Big Daddy Kane wave. It's not that Big Daddy Kane brought him on tour. He brought that nigga on tour. The Big Daddy Kane was the Jay-Z of.
Now go ahead.
You know, it's just like it's a rich history. I wouldn't give it back for the world. If I would have ahead of it and went and did the Sabi thing, or because my father had us going, he had me locked in to go to Parsons New School to be an artist.
Okay.
Right. But I was like, nah, I can't do it. I can't slow down. You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't see myself sitting in no school when we was out there boosting and hitting up the mall and whatnot.
Right.
And I've forsaken that. But in hindsight, I don't think that the person that I am and the overstanding that I have of just life in general, I don't know if I would have had it if I didn't experience the things that I did.
Right.
So, you know, my mother and my father's alive and they see me doing me. I got 3 children. I just told my father today on the phone, I was like, you know, I looked at my son in the eyes when I came home from being with my daughter. And I was like, yo, I feel like I'm the wealthiest man that I feel like I'm the wealthiest that I've ever been in life. Because to be honest with you, if you had $10 million with 3 kids, when you have $10 million and 4 kids, nigga, all right, this is the key. This is the trick question. $10 million and 3 kids or 4 kids and $10? Who's richer?
4 kids and $10. Easily.
Your progeny, right? The fact that one of your nuts stayed in court, you know what I mean? Turned into something. Of the 100,000 ones that you let off, right? You get gifted by not just the universe, you get gifted by that seed who it opens up a way and it creates a whole new income stream. It's like a credit line. And I'm not talking about fiat. I'm talking about fortune. It's different. I'm talking about grace and favor, like how Blue and Ken be talking about. I'm talking about it opens up fortune. You, in your divine reflection, right, obeyed universal law, and you recreate. You had the audacity to recreate yourself, right, and give your ancestors 100-year lease on life. Bag for that. You know what I'm saying? We make it hard. We make it hard on ourselves because of because of our demons, because of interconnectivity, and because of communication issues. And you know, sometimes we don't have that connectivity with our mates.
Mm-hmm.
Understandable, because of the culture that we exist in. You're not going to be held accountable to the degree that you may think. You're not going to be judged to the degree that you may think, because we still have a level of the fact that we've been duped. You know what I mean? We could, your defense, you get your public defender and you claim ignorance. You know what I'm talking about? You didn't know that the small hats was manipulating the airwaves.
Right.
You know, you was under hypnosis.
Mm.
And was on your ratchet, wild, crazy, backwards, upside down shit because you were under stress and duress. You was a fucking zombie. That's your defense. You know what I mean? And you could atone for that and turn everything around in no time. Henceforth, why I'm in community service. I know personally, because of the struggles that I had to go through, right? That this is community service. I'm like, damn.
Mm-hmm.
Niggas got me out here hailing these niggas. I'm out here doing videos and radio. They're like, this is not me. I want to stand on somebody's couches right now. You know what I'm talking about? Like, away. That was me. And my son was born, and that broke a spell. That broke a curse. I had a curse on me, and he broke it.
Mm-hmm.
When I seen him breathe, the spell got broke. I snapped out of some shit like, oh. And I was working at Polo Ground Records, right?
Okay.
I had did my friend, I did a friend of mine a solid, and I was like, yo, he asked me to intern there. And I was on two, this is to show you how loyal I am. The day that he asked me to do that, I had an article come out in the Fader magazine. Do you know what the Fader magazine is?
Nah.
Fader magazine is like a high level fashion hype beast type of magazine.
Okay.
Culture. Lil Wayne was on the cover, and I had an article, and they christened me the Dapper Dan of Harlem. Not to say that I was better than Dapper Dan. They said that I was out there doing shit like Dapper Dan was doing in his days. This was in 2007.
Mm.
That was my made it moment. Like, I could have been out of here. And a friend of mine was like, yo, we got this new label called Polo Ground. We got this artist named Hurricane Chris, A-Bay.
Right.
You was working with us on the Pitbull project. I want you to get in there. You know, you out here on these streets and shit, standing behind tables. Niggas is talking about you, but we ain't gonna say nothing. You know, just take this industry job, man. I'm gonna get you hooked up, but you got to do an intern. But I'm like, damn, but my wife is pregnant. Man, in my mind, I'm like, you know what? It's all good. I got money saved up, right? And the internship, I know how to turn an intern into a pay job,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because I'm just going to get in there and work my magic.
Right.
So when my son was, I might have been in there for about 6 months. No, about 4 months straight. And then the day my son was born, I never went back.
Mm.
I didn't even, you know what I mean? Like, I popped up at their Christmas dinner and got some pasta and I was out, you know what I'm saying? But that was it. Like, I never turned back because he told me, you nigga, you better get back in them streets and get back to what the fuck you was doing. Are you crazy? You losing your mind.
Yeah.
You don't have no goddamn record label, you buffoon. And I snapped out of the spell and I was back in the streets. They almost killed my brother on 25th when I was gone. He got shot by the police. Told you about that?
Yeah. I heard you talk about that.
The same, I stood there taping it. The same shit that happened to George Floyd. And he knows, I'm not talking against, I mean, the whole world knows because the nigga put the video out and they was like, Sam, why was you just standing there filming it? And I said this yesterday when I did a video after seeing George Floyd. And that's the George Floyd video. That was the line that was drawn. Please, y'all, if anything ever happens, believe me, you helping me is going to be better than you taping me. You're going to be rewarded more sincerely for that. Let's just go out fighting together and get knocked out if we need. Let's get tased or something. But if they try to take the life from me, don't just film that. you're gonna bring the curses of the heavens down upon the land if you let that happen to me in broad daylight, and you niggas are just trying to run up batteries, filming me die and take my last breath. That's what hurt me the most. That I heard multiple voices behind the camera when they was filming it, and no one turned up, bro. But they now though. They want to turn them now though. They want to break. Yeah, that's not right. That ain't. You could have avoided that and just beat them niggas' ass right there.
About that shit earlier.
We was just saying that. Yeah.
So it's fear. Or something,
it's
man.
too much embedded fear. I'm a female and I would have did that.
What happened to getting beat up? We used to get stomped out.
Yeah.
We used to get stomped out. When I was up north, not even up north, when I was on the island, they would pop off and cut captains and whatnot for points. During the rise of the Bloods and whatnot, they would, to cut a captain, you could become a superior. And they was taking the risk. They was going for it. Yeah. And you know, if you cut any CO, let alone a captain, you're getting stomped. You're gonna get.
Oh hell yeah!
You're getting stomped out.
The teenage turtles come. Yo, they had fiberglass shields that can electrocute you, and they would put you. They would knock you down. They would knock you down with a baton and then put the shield on you and then hit that shit and shock you like a cattle prod. They was hitting you with fiberglass shields and batons and whatnot, and dudes was still wilding out. So I'm like, what happened to that breed? Where you niggas is not wild? Like, you not wild for the night? Why? Because you wearing tight ass European jeans. You got Russian Batiman designers on your backside. And
you butt all the way out.
Yeah, and that energy is on you, like, and niggas have become domesticated, and it's a sight. I don't think we are even created in the image of the creator to be a domesticated people. We don't look good as cats, right? We look good as roaring tigers, not even as big cats with Joe Tiger. We look better in the wild. We look better free as a bird, flying without, all of these shackles on us. We don't operate domesticate. We don't operate fine, even in corporate. Yeah, we on our sorry to bother you shit, and we doing us. We look good with our Brooks Brothers, but we're not. I mean, we're not. No, not that's not our natural environment.
Right.
Our environment would be more so like as the owner of a label. Or the owner of a clothing brand where you're brash.
What about the independent music lane? What do you think about that?
Yeah, there's a freedom in that.
Okay.
There's a huge freedom in that. And well,
what about like the young ones that aren't ready, but you see it and you focus on elevation?
Yeah. I mean, we was ignorant.
Okay.
What if they, when I was a teenager, I would be the people who were older than me. The people who was older than me was upset at me and my brother when they saw us doing shit, right? But imagine if everybody was able to see it, because we were able to deny it with other older people. Like, no, we wasn't cutting school. What are you talking about?
Okay.
It's us. We were like honors students and shit. It's not true. So the footage would have just made things a lot more, I mean, it took me to be in my 30s to really wake up. I don't hide that. I tell people like I don't hide it. I don't hide it from nobody. My son was born in 2007. I was still up until that point. I had, I was on a fence.
It took me a long time. I'm still waking up.
Yeah, I came to Harlem in 2005. So from like 2005 and 2007, I was like intensely just learning, absorbing, watching everything. Watching Inetta, watching the Felders. I'm on 2/5. I'm at the lectures. This was the LIU. This was when Bobby and Phil was the top teachers in the. People be thinking that there's some other shit was popping, and I'd be like, where? You know what I'm talking about? Like, even then, it wasn't popping right at that point. You know what I mean? No offense or anything, but their heydays was in the 80s. You know what I'm talking about? That was the academia era. That was the collegiate academic era. Phil Valentine, they were rogue. They were rogue. They were not academic. They were bucking against the system. Dr. Sebi was a rogue. He was hated religiously by these niggas. They called him all kind of monkeys. Yeah, you know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, he had a big beef with a lot of the people. That's why I don't like to put the names out, because there's so much worship going on these days, male worship amongst names. You know, people they can't fathom that certain people didn't like each other.
Right.
You know, and they don't, and I'm like, the shit that I see today, it doesn't surprise me. I was prepared for that because I seen a dude try to stab Sebi because he was hating on him. And it traumatized, because we was little, and it was a violent incident, and it stayed with us. You know, they tried to attack him, and somebody else got attacked, and all kind of shit. So I know about the haters. I know it's real. You know, my mama was being hated on by women in the community and men religiously back then to this day.
Yeah.
They don't say that Mama Pill cured AIDS. They don't say that a black woman cured AIDS. They say that Dr. Sebi cured AIDS. They don't say Ma'a cured AIDS. They say that Dr. Sebi cured AIDS. But there was 3 people on that court: Annette Thomas, Ma'a Bowman, Alfredo Bowman. That's Mama Pill. That's what the documentary, if this nigga didn't cut that out.
Right.
When is he planning on releasing it? Did he say yet?
Man, I don't know.
Okay.
On me right now, so you know.
Yeah. Shit,
well, I don't want to hold you. I know we've been up here long. I appreciate it. This was beautiful. Oh, Black Magic just popped up live with Cambada, but
yeah, that goes back to the whole thing. You know, I'm independent.
Right.
I want $1 million.
Okay.
Album sold from a community that I put in, you know, religious work with. You know, like I said, I don't think my work could be matched by anyone in the community, only because I'm in my own lane. I'm not trying to be compared to no content creators, because I didn't get into this thing to measure phalluses. That's not, you know what I mean?
Right.
But because we're in such a competitive space, and because this is still hip hop, I gotta speak that language and tell people, nigga, run my credit, okay? Run it, run the credit. Go and do your research, because if you say something crazy, you could be embarrassed. Not by me. I don't have to say nothing. There's so many people that could say it for me. I'll get your favorite teacher to bark on you, because he was, you know, maybe I put him on. You know what I mean? Maybe we was responsible, not directly, but everything has you don't understand if you don't know behind the scenes, I'm not going to tell you how it works. That's not for you to know.
Right.
Amazon tell you how Amazon works. Google don't tell you how it works. You got to get in the fucking company to see behind the scenes. So I'll never reveal behind the scenes. I'm not talking private in the public. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
People know there's no teacher out here that hasn't passed through no teacher that's really truly relevant like that ain't passed through the motherfucking pillars. You know. And I'm not saying that they can't. We fulfilled our journalism. We fulfilled our journalistic duties, audience, and to keep integrity amongst them, and to maintain that over the years. Now I had to go off recently because there's people out here who will not give credit where credit is due, and they're acting like they came out of nowhere, and that's being extremely facetious. And you can't talk down on people who are, you know, we don't got blemishes on our record like you do. You know, you've done people real dirty who we helped put, you know, who trusted you. So that's not what's up. And you're not gonna walk by, you're not gonna shit on the people who laid out red carpets for you every single time. You could go to the archives. You was giving niggas flowers and whatnot. Yeah. So now you have to be specific. You can't make blanket statements like that, because nobody knows who you might be talking about. So, you know, It's about, at the end of the day, I don't owe nobody no explanation when I demand respect. You feel me? You're not gonna disrespect my brand. You're not gonna disrespect my mama. You're not gonna, because you disrespect me, you're gonna disrespect the legacy. And we're not having that. We ain't going for that. We didn't sign up to this shit for that. And nobody that came after me is gonna tell me anything. Fuck out of here. When I came here, you came here, the movie was already playing. Meaning that you a co-star. This is not your fucking show. You know what I mean? These niggas running around like it's their show. And that's not what it is. So play your position, get in your lane. And if you want to talk crazy about people, if that's your profession, help them out.
Yeah.
You know,
like that.
Why not?
give them a dime. So yeah, that part.
Indeed. Word up.
Oh,
Shit,
God.
man,
We got any more questions for the red pillar?
No, go ahead
This
and
was beautiful.
shout your website out
I hear
again.
you. I see you. Okay.
Yeah. Holla at your peoples.
I am.
Facts24, food, art, clothing, technology, shelter. You feel me? We got the results. You feel me? My master students, I got people that own restaurants. You understand? I got people that own businesses, multi-million-dollar businesses. And they'll show you the receipts. They'll let you know, yeah, I got the claw from Pill. He started us up. He breathed life into me. He showed me, he held up a mirror and I saw my greatness. I got mad receipts. People that my mama done healed for hundreds of people that she done healed of every single kind of ailment. This niggas running around looking like they sick. They need to come and see us. You know what I'm talking about? Niggas is running around like they got all kind of demons on them. They need to come and see us. We might get you a motherfucking bath or something. You know what I'm talking about? Real talk. Niggas is running around like they possessed in this bitch. There's a lot of dusty niggas too. And they need to shea butter. They went from ashy to classy, then went right back to being ashy again. So look, health is wealth. Health is wealth. I'm curious about that. You're not gonna walk around acting, looking all unhealthy, trying to talk like, no, the people need to know health is wealth. So the things that come out of your mouth should come from a healthy vessel with a healthy mind and a healthy heart.
Makes perfect sense.
Real, yeah. So greenleaf-herb.com.
That's Mama
Pill. Right? If you're gonna spend $1, you're gonna spend $5 with me. I only ask you spend 2 with her. You know what I'm saying? And give me 3, because she, at the end of the day, has endured the longest and has done more than I can ever do in my lifetime. You dig what I'm saying? I'm only trying to keep up with the example that she laid out for us with her selfless work, right?
Now, I know she's online now, Red. Did she do a Cash App yet? And how do we donate, like, directly to her?
I'm not sure.
Okay. I'll figure it out. I'll find it out.
You'll see more of her soon. She got an iPhone 11. You'll see it.
Yeah, I know. Saw her a couple lives.
Yeah, she's getting ready, you know. But she's been very busy because, you know, she has a story to tell once this COVID thing is over.
Oh, yeah.
It is what it is. But my goal is to put her in the same place that they put Madam C.J. Walker, with her own estate, with universities and schools. Like the ladies, I want the ladies to go to Goddess Etiquette School. You know, I want her to teach it. You know, I want them to learn certain things that she has to give them, because she has a grace to her that I don't see in a lot of people.
Right.
And I still say that. And there's women who I admire and I submit to. You dig what I'm saying? Because I know the power of the divine feminine. And if you carrying yourself in a divine feminine way, you got me. There's no defenses. You know, that Jill Scott, Erykah Badu session, I could put up no defenses.
Yeah.
You feel me? I was hypnotized in a good way, because she was nurturing. It's what's been missing. It's what we actually ask for, but don't know how to ask for it. You know, want to negate the sensual part of you. We don't want to negate the part of you that's going to turn us on. We don't want to throw that out with the bathwater.
Okay.
But if you could,
keep some of that.
Okay. Okay. I hear you.
getting late, as you can see.
Yeah.
We need to turn it.
So I want to thank y'all for having such a laid back, cool panel, and it allows, you know, you give the host. I feel like I'm there with y'all. It just allows me to, you know, do what I do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
I'll have you back
how we
again
wanted it.
when you get your hair different, so I can see the different faces of Phil.
Yeah, you. Out of all the people in the world, you know that you got to be exclusive. I'm coming on here with 2 ponytails.
It's still fly though. You got it. You got it.
It doesn't matter to me. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
You braver than me, Red Pill.
Please, I keep sitting. Look. I don't even know what you call this. I call it locks, right? But I posted it, and a girl with locks said that's not locks. So it spirals, but I love it. This is all me, naturally. Right. You know, I love it. Why not?
Yeah, it's all me too.
Oh my goodness.
Right? You got that. You got the crystal ball.
Yeah, the crystal. And I got these mad lights around us right now, and my shit glowing right now.
I know, right? We're gonna set up a crowdfunding though. I'm gonna get with you about the specifics of it, but I think it's time for that now.
I think it is too.
Yeah.
Shit.
Okay.
Like, we all, if you're in media, you deserve a bag from your crowd, because you have to compete with the multi-million-dollar propaganda machines that are out there. You deserve, you know, a budget.
Right.
Whether it's a lean budget or a shoestring budget or a startup budget, you deserve to be funded because of your message, what you represent. You dig what I'm saying? If who, so that's where your audience, you know, value for value. Like I said, we're heading there very fast, where there's going to come a time where, as an infopreneur, you are going to be valued for what it is that you do. It's going to be, for our children coming up, they're going to find it advantageous to be teachers. It's going to go and do willingly. And you're going to be like, I remember there was a time when we tried to have to twist your arm to sit and watch this and learn this. The whizzes is going to be like, teach me, teach me. They're going to want to get it willingly. Yeah. So it's all about, you know, preparing for those days. But I promise you that those days are like here already, because COVID-19, I've seen people's stocks rise. And I don't think they're going to.
No, that's the internal work that we had to do. Well, people had to do. Yeah. You gotta go inside and do the work.
You know, can't run from that.
Yeah.
You know, we have a whole about that, because that, you know what I mean? That's one of them. So it's been fun.
As soon as we start talking about spirit, they want to mess up. That's a
Kings, Kingscounty.big cartel. We got the jewelry, we got the clothes. We're gonna launch a new site on the solstice. That's the new Kings County with a small. It's took the vowels out, so it's 8 letters.
Okay.
Netterflix.com. That's ready right now. That's a streaming platform going.
Patreon.com/Red Pillar.
Yeah, Patreon/Red Pillar. And Know the Ledge Media on YouTube, Melanin Mondays, Third Eye Thursdays. And like I said, on Eventbrite, we'll be having this lecture on Thursday, and then you can watch it recurringly throughout the weeks.
Is the Eventbrite with you and Pop Darby, is that on video on demand right now? Or is it on Netterflix?
It's on video on demand, not on Netterflix.
Okay.
But that was fire. That was
crazy.
And like, it's ironic that the brother is a Houston native.
Right.
Find out about his untimely demise in the airport, leaving Houston.
Yeah.
go to Houston to charge it up that weekend, because Spirit tells me, make sure you do something on that grid when you get there, because I'm there to see my daughter and spend time with her.
Yeah.
But Spirit compelled me to do something. So we do it at the last minute. And we do it, we call it brick and mortar, to click and order. And I have found what I was doing the research the night before, I found a Fear of a Black Messiah Houston version that I had did 3 years ago, and it was fire. I was telling Pop, nah, I want to do this shit. Fuck that. We're gonna flip it. Like I was like, cause I need them to hear this. So now that I see that,
I'll be right back, Red. Hold on. Go ahead.
I'm gonna just do that, like, and just do it and throw it out there, whatever. But I don't know, because YouTube be tripping. So it's certain things that you can't even teach about no more, because especially if you got the pictures for it.
Yeah.
You know, I take a lot of that offline.
Mm-hmm. Got to.
Yes, sir.
Got to.
So yeah, I know y'all got things to do. It's late.
I'm sorry about that.
We appreciate you coming through, brother, showing us love, man. Definitely appreciate you coming through. This is definitely gonna help
We
us
gotta
out.
do it again.
So we definitely want to, you know, show our appreciation. You know what I mean?
All right. Love and light to the family, y'all.
All right.
Peace,
Salute.
peace.
Wow.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
How do you stop it?
So, anyway, it's the Global Takeover Podcast. Red Pill in the building.